y'all. Who are the bosses in the AFC and the NFC, in my opinion? It's a lot of teams that you can be able to put up there and, have an argument for, especially in the NFC. But let's talk about the AFC first. So, let's go through all the division leaders right now. We have the Patriots at 9-4 in the AFC East. We have the Chiefs at 8-4 in the AFC West. We have the Ravens at 8-4 coming off a loss, AFC North. We have the Titans leading the AFC South. Which one of those four division leaders is the weakest one? The one that's not the boss to me? It's the Titans. The Titans right now, they don't have Derrick Henry, obviously the best runner in football. If you want to put Jonathan Taylor in there and say that they're 1-2, I have no argument there. Kid's a beast. And Tannehill has been up and down in regards to his production, his productivity. Wide receiver core has been banged up. A.J. Brown is on the IR. You have Julio Jones. He's coming off the IR. Has had a horrible, miserable, injury-plagued season. They don't have much offensive weapons outside of that. Poor Mike Vrabel, one of the best coaches in the NFL, has a lot to deal with right now. Defensively, they're okay. Not as good as I think that they were last year, in my opinion. But they're okay. Offensively is the problem. How are they going to fix that? I don't think they can. They built an offense around a once-in-a-lifetime runner, a physical, bruising runner that should have been playing back in the mid-90s, 80s. That's the type of runner that Derrick Henry is. Physical, big, can take the hits, can keep going into the fourth quarter. He's not tired, and he just wears the defense down. That's old school power football. And without that, you have Tannehill that has to throw a lot of passes to guys that can't get open and guys that are not that talented. So this is why they are employees. They are the employees in the AFC. They're not bosses. They got to answer to somebody. The other team that I think is not a boss are the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow and Bunch, they've had a nice season, 7-5. Shocked a lot of people. He's played well. Jamar Chase has played well. The defense has actually played over its skis this season as well. They've been playing some inspired football all year. Joe Mixon looks like one of the best runners in the NFL as well. But nobody believes that the Bengals have a shot to do anything in the playoffs. Not saying that they won't get there eventually over the years, that they may be a perennial, playoff team. It's possible. For right now, they're just building. So definitely employees. Definitely employees right now. They're interns. They just got there. They're entry-level people learning the ways to get around, and they have some talent and people are watching. Employees right now. The Los Angeles Chargers, to me, definitely employees. Reason why is because they're that employee that shows up to work late, but so talented. And people are just like, this guy can just get it together. This young lady can get it together. They can be able to run this entire department or division or whatever you want to call it. But they just can't get out of their own way. So for right now, Justin Herbert, and boy, do I love me some Justin Herbert. They're definitely employees right now. The Baltimore Ravens, coming off a loss to the Steelers, where Lamar Jackson looked like fried dog, you-know-what. And he's had some horrible games this season. To the point where people continue to defend this man. He's just a unique talent. No. That he is. But let's call a spade a spade. He can't throw the football. That's just what it is. And when he does throw the football, he throws it to the other team. He makes terrible decisions with the football. If he's not running, he's going to make a bad decision. It's just the way it is. Defense, the Ravens have always been a good defensive team. Their running game has been decimated by injuries this year. Guys that are coming off the street that are contributing. Devontae Freeman has come out of nowhere and is taking that job. Hell, they had Le'Veon Bell at one point before they cut him. So, what to make of the Ravens? I don't really know what to make of the Ravens. They are an enigma because you don't know what Lamar Jackson is going to show up. Oh, I'm sure he's going to give it the old college try, right? Option read, take off, option read, take off. Just throw the football, man. Learn how to throw the football. And maybe people won't be looking at you like, I don't really know what they are. They do have the talent to be a boss, but maybe they're just stuck here with the rest of employees because they don't know who they want to be. It's not that they can't get there. They just don't really know what they are. That's what it is. The other team is probably the most frustrating team to me. It's got to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, to me, are, I don't know how to define them. They're just that super confident, cocky, boss's son comes in there and just shows off, and they have all this talent, all this luxury, and people are just looking at them like, guy's such a jerk, but yeah, I mean, he's funny. He makes me laugh. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs are. All the world of talent. You have Patrick Mahomes, who everybody says is the best quarterback on the planet. Okay. Rushing game is You got Tyreek Hill. You have Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, Pringle. These guys on offense, they have some firepower there. Defensively, we all know that they're just a one-trick pony. They throw the ball and they throw it well. Well, guess what? They're not doing that well this season. So all that confidence and bravado and cockiness that people always tend to look at and say, you know what? Okay, you got it right now because, your father's the rich owner or whatever it is, but watch some adversity hit you and we're going to see exactly how you react. Well, they got punched in the face early this season and they didn't look so well. Patrick Mahomes didn't look so well. But a funny thing happened with them is that the defense started to wake up. We think about this team as being a juggernaut offensively, that they're going to throw 35 points on you on any given night. Patrick Mahomes can go for 450, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Tyreek Hill can burn you, give you the deuces, chuck you the deuces, and you're looking at a 9-catch, 175-yard day, 3 touchdowns for him. Travis Kelce can do the same thing. So they have all of these things at their disposal, but they were not doing it. Teams kind of figured out how to play Tyreek Hill. Throw a safety over the top. Don't let him burn you. Now he's an underneath guy. You'll live with 8 catches for 70 yards with Tyreek Hill, as long as he doesn't get in the end zone. As long as he doesn't burn you and gets a 75-yarder downfield. Travis Kelce, the same thing. If you keep everything in front of you and you don't allow him to get into the end zone, especially in the red zone, your job is done. Teams have been doing this against the Chiefs all season long. But defensively, they're starting to come together. So, where do I put them? Boss or employee? I would say that they're bosses. I would still put them as a boss because everything is there for them. Just like the Super Bowl year, that defense wasn't that great, but they started to make plays, and they started to turn the ball over. They started to get timely stops. This is what you're seeing out of this team right now. Who would have ever thought that Kansas City would win games 22-9, 19-9? That they're doing that with their defense, not with the offense. Not at all. The Indianapolis Colts, not going to get into all the superlatives and all that. They're bosses. I like the way they're playing. Carson Wentz is a good player. He's had a good season. Jonathan Taylor, I haven't seen a guy that violent and that smooth at the same time. But he is a prototypical running back. Not fancy, he's not a household name in regards to popularity. But anybody who has him in fantasy and anybody who watches him play football knows how good this kid is. He's arguably the best running back in football right now. He really is. And I like the way this team looks. I think that they have a chance to win a playoff game or two, depending on the matchup. So, definitely going to put them as bosses. My biggest boss in the AFC right now is the Patriots. They are the big bosses in the AFC. And I don't think it's going to change for me. I don't. They're just good. They're just good. The Bills, employees, just, show up when you want to show up, and nobody really cares if you're there or not. It's just what it is. Moving on to the NFC. It's a 5-team race, honestly. So we're going to discuss those 5 teams. We got the Cowboys in the NFC East, Cardinals in the NFC West, the Rams in the NFC West, the Green Bay Packers in the NFC North, and the Buccaneers in the NFC South. Excuse me, I said that the Buccaneers earlier were 9-4. They're 9-3. Who, to me, are the employees out of that 5? Well, for one, I gotta be honest. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. It's Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys are the employee that hangs out around the boss's office, always brown-nosing, and, they behave like a boss. They act like a boss. They talk to people like a boss. But everybody knows that they're not the boss. Everybody knows that they're just employees. They look the part, and people say, man, why are you not a manager? Why are you not owning somewhere, or owning a business, or just running something? And they're just like, it's just one of those things, it's just can't catch a break. It's your karma. The Cowboys just have that. They have a talented quarterback, talented running back, one of the most talented wide receiver cores out there. We have the defensive rookie of the year, possibly defensive player of the year. Both of them, Trayvon Diggs, and you have Micah Parsons. All of these pieces look good, but Dak Prescott is inconsistent. He hadn't had a great season. Zeke looks done. You got Tony Pollard, who I don't believe is an every down back, but he is very good. You got Amari Cooper, who's in and out of the lineup for COVID reasons or whatever it is. You got all these problems coming around. And the biggest issue is Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is not somebody who you can actually trust to get you over that hump. It just isn't. So the Cowboys, that's what they are. They're just employees. They look good. They look the part. But everybody that works there knows exactly who they are and what they're about. The next team who I feel can possibly be an employee because they have a lot of things going on with them as well are the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams, to me, they are that shiny Rolls Royce. But when you look inside, the leather's all cut up. There's juice that's spilled on the floor. And then when you see who's driving it, you see that playboy who, he dresses nice and all that stuff, but he's a slob. And people can't trust him to run anything because he doesn't know what he's doing with all of this opportunity in front of him. That's the Rams for you. They have the quarterback. Their running game is good. Their wide receiver core is good. They have the best wide receiver in football in Cooper Kupp. The defense supposed to be one of the best defenses in the league. Sean McVay arguably is one of the best coaches in the league. But there's something missing with this team. Stafford hasn't played well in the last 5 weeks or so. He's dealing with a lot of injuries. That's what we're hearing. And so, he's completely dropped out of the MVP race. The running back situation has been hurt all year. Cam Akers tore his ACL. You got guys in and out of the lineup. Sony Michel is there, had a big game. You got Henderson banged up as well. But who are they? Who are they? Are they a team that's going to show up and impress everybody with their speed and their physicality on defense and their smart play calling? Or are they going to be the team that stinks it up and has their quarterback throw 3 interceptions in the first quarter? 3 interceptions in the first half. Turn the ball over, fumbles. Defense can't stop anybody. Nobody can catch a pass outside of Cooper Kupp. All of these things are just puzzling, and that's why they're not a boss. Now let's get to the bosses. Boss number 3, the Arizona Cardinals. They're for real, y'all. They had Colt McCoy at quarterback, and they still won. They sit at 10-2, the best record in football. Did anybody see this coming? No. I did say before the season started, I believe that Kyler Murray was going to be an MVP candidate. And I do believe that if he did not get hurt, I think Kyler Murray and Tom Brady would be at the top of the list in regards to MVP. Kyler Murray is that good, special, and he can throw a football. Hear that, Lamar? Cliff Kingsbury, one of the best young minds in the game. That running game has been phenomenal with James Conner. Yes, DeAndre Hopkins has been hurt, but they had guys that fill in. Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore, A.J. Green, longtime Eagle, Zach Ertz. So they're definitely a boss, but they're on the far end of the building. So people are like, yeah, I know where such and such is. I can't really find his desk. It's always confusing of where to go to find it. The next boss is definitely going to be the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay has Aaron Rodgers. They have Matt LaFleur. Great running game at Aaron Jones. Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in football, in my opinion. And a defense that's really maturing. They're definitely a boss. They've been here before the last 3 years. They've been a dominant team in the NFC, but they can't crack through. Can they crack through this year? They are that boss that is hardly in the office because you just don't know when they're going to show up. You don't know what's going to happen. That's who the Green Bay Packers are. Aaron Rodgers, we know what Aaron Rodgers is. A bad man. It's a bad man. Aaron, bad guy. Knows how to throw the football. Knows how to command an offense. But can they get over the hump? Can they beat Arizona in the playoffs? Can they beat Tampa Bay in the playoffs? We've seen them beat Arizona in the regular season, yes. But that's the regular season. There's the problem. So they're definitely a boss, but they're just under the real boss. And that's the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady is the MVP, y'all. That's it. Period. Nobody comes close. Tom Brady's leading the league in passing, in touchdowns, in quarterback rating. I think he's second in QBR. What more? What is there more to say about the Bucks? Defense is a little shoddy, but when you got Tom Brady, don't matter. When you got Gronk, don't matter. When you have guys like Leonard Fournette that have found his way, doesn't matter. They are the gold standard right now in the NFL to me.